It sure is hot this Tuesday night at Fantastic Comics.
Ultimate Comics X-Men starts. It's Nick Spencer writing and Medina on art. Ultimate Comics Hawkeye #2 is out as well. I've been happy with the line so far, so I'm looking forward to it to continue to be great. Let's go over to, if you've been reading Red Wing, the third one in the miniseries of 4 comes out. Right next to it we have Red Hood and the Outlaws. The art in this is spectacular. All you have to do is look at the first page. That is beautiful. And Scott Lobdell's writing, and it's Kenneth Rocafort doing art. Above it, we've got Nightwing. If you're a Batman fan, you got to pick that up. Kyle Higgins is writing, and Eddie Barrows is doing art. What else? Green Lantern Corps. I've read this. Peter Tomasi and Fernando how do you pronounce it? Passaran, whatever, is doing art, and it's really good. It's I wasn't really looking forward to it too much, but I read it, and Kyle and Stewart, or not Kyle, sorry, Guy Gardner and John Stewart are just really buddy-buddy, and it's really cool, and they're trying to fit in with Earth, but while, and getting real jobs because they're bored while being Green Lanterns. It's really great. You got anything you want? Justice League, we got the second printing, and
Actually, it's the third printing.
okay,
Which came out on the same day. Tomorrow. It's so confusing. Anyway, yeah, that's the first issue. If you missed it, it's probably a good thing to jump in on. I don't know if we talked about Game of Thrones. It's a comic book. My brother said, if you are not the kind of person that wants to read a book, but will read a book that's made into a comic book, then this is your cup of tea if you like fantasy. That was a rhyme. Anyway, I was worried about the art, but it looks like it's serviceable at least. So, that's pretty good. And I also recommend checking out Daredevil. This is a issue that is drawn by Marcos Martin. He is so cool. The images are excellent. Oh, that's probably a bad page. Anyway, he's really good. His layout design is good, and Mark Waid has been doing a pretty darn good job when it comes to writing a Daredevil story. He's been going through a lot of changes lately. Also, the second part of a new Fable storyline is out. And I have plenty of the first part.
Let's just continue down the line. Go over to the big boy of the week. Scott Snyder writing and Greg Capullo doing art for Batman #1.
And Scott Snyder also writes Severed.
Yes. Yeah, he's doing Severed, and of course I've said it before, he's the one that did the Gates of Gotham at the end of before they started over. And it's beautiful. The writing is very, I don't know, it's just good. Scott Snyder is very, very prolific writer.
Gates of Gotham really quick. Another writer on that series is Kyle Higgins, and he's doing the new Nightwing. Another thing about that Batman we just saw, Greg Capullo is doing his first work for DC, and he used to do X Factor after Big Rob left, I meant X-Force, and he also has worked on Spawn quite a bit. Last of the new stuff I'd like to show you, Treehouse of Horror. It comes out once a year, not unlike the television program, and Jim Woodring works on this book, Gene Ha, and Jane Weedland of the Go-Go's. And also, Cloak and Dagger, a miniseries that is involved with the Spider Island storyline. It is written by Nick Spencer, and having said that, we should probably go to the trades.
Okay, this is Arthur Lullaby, the 10-year anniversary. It's also every single issue. If I can find the page. Yeah. And each one is signed for Fantastic Comics by Mr. Doug Paskovich, or however you say his name. Apologies. Probably hates all the people like me that mispronounce his name. That doesn't matter. Because it has like a lot of like grisly characters like Voodoo Joe, who has an army of fetuses, zombie fetuses. Here he is killing one with Raid. And they do his bidding. He helps and they help him fulfill curses. Like he curses people, and like his calling. If he doesn't curse people, he'll turn more into a voodoo mask. So he helps people get revenge in horrible ways. It has like other characters, like a guy that kills babies to make sure the census is right. And it has like horrible humor, like Holocaust humor. So this isn't for kids, but it is the funniest shit you will read. And if you believe in independent comics at all, like this is about as indie as it gets. So you should pick it up. If nothing else, you'll learn about funny comics. So, Arsenic Lullaby.
Speaking of Nick Spencer, Morning Glories Volume 2 comes out. So for all of you people that read Volume 1, and I know there was a lot of you, and were unwilling or hesitant about picking up the comic books monthly, here's 7 through 12, and 13 comes out shortly after, we hope. So it's perfect. And then down over here we got Chew. Flambe, Volume 4 is finally out. I've been waiting for a long time, and it's going to be just as funny as it's always been. So I'm really looking forward to reading it tonight.
I read a couple of those issues. They're pretty good. Also, we have Spider-Man, The Vengeance of Venom. These are the after Todd McFarlane Spider-Mans, done by Eric Larson and probably some Mark Bagley in there. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, there's some pretty good stories by Dave Michelini. Speaking of old comics that are coming back, we have the new Teen Titans. This is, I guess, an original story that Marv Wolfman and George Perez, the series creators, were going to do and never did, and now it's out. So hooray, if you're a fan of that book. It's called Games. And also, I'd like to show you lastly this X-Men book right here. This just got finished. It had a giant-sized X-Men and then a storyline that Christopher Yost and Paco Medina did. And it has a sort of retcon story, but it's good, where a threat that has come back, you get to see the old team deal with it in one way, and then the new team of X-Men deal with it now. Anyway, it's pretty good. Recommend it. There's a whole bunch of other things that you should check out. And don't forget, every Wednesday is new comics. Thank you and good night.